Let's talk a game that is very, very interesting from a spread standpoint, the Chargers and the Chiefs. Brad has a play on this one. As we know, Chiefs coming off a shocking loss this past week, where if you would have told me they were up 11 points with the ball at midfield with 2 minutes left in the third quarter and they would lose the game, I would have lost my house. I would have bet my home that they would have won that game up 11 points with the ball at midfield with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. That was not the case. They end up losing. Of course, the Chargers lose a heartbreaker to the Cowboys as well. Steven, I'll start here with you. This Chiefs defense, look, the offense is every bit as good as we expect. Chiefs defense has been absolutely atrocious so far through the first two games of the season. There is a little bit of injury concern on the Chargers side as well. Last week they played without Chris Harris. The Joey Bosa was banged up a little bit, so there's something we'll be monitoring there as well.
This Chiefs defense might be 2018 bad for them. I mean, they are, in terms of success rate allowed in coming in through 2 weeks here, dead last in the league. Their opponents' offenses have a 59.2% success rate. EPA per play, the Chiefs are just, bottom 5 in that area as well. And Brad, I know you got some other stats as well to reveal just how bad this KC defense has been. So for me, I'm laying off this game, but if anything, I might even take a stab on Chargers money line, considering how well-rounded this offense was. I actually think they got a little unlucky last week.
Yeah, Brad.
Yes.
So you're going to take a piece of the Chargers here at 6.5.
So to back up what Stephen was saying there, so through 2 weeks, the Chargers, Chiefs' worst defense in the NFL. So their DVOA is minus 33%, so 33% worse than average. It's twice as bad as the next worst team. And like last week, the Ravens have two bad tackles, right? The Raiders shredded the Ravens tackles, and the Chiefs had one QB hit last week. So I don't think they're going to cause too much trouble for Justin Herbert. There is some questions about the Chargers. They put up 17 points against the Cowboys. I watched that game very closely because I had a bet on it. I was trading it on Betfair, and I think the Chargers were incredibly hard done by. They had 2 red zone turnovers. They had 2 touchdowns taken off the board by penalties. They had like a negative 20-yard sack where Herbert got rid of the ball, but the refs blew up too early. I think Rob Pizzola tweeted this. He's watched the 2 Chargers games, and like the amount of calls that have gone against the Chargers through 2 weeks, he said it looks like someone in the league office has max bet their season win unders because it is perplexing. So to me, they moved up and down the field easily. Like Herbert does stuff that I think only Mahomes can match really. So I think that's a very very good offense, and I don't think it's far behind the Chiefs. And then, so we've got a terrible Chiefs defense, and I think the Chargers defense is much, much better. Now, we do have to watch that injury report. As Stephen said, there are a lot of them on the injury report: Joey Bosa, Chris Harris, Derwin James. Like, if they're out, then I hate the bet I've made, and I'll be trying to get out of it. And then just finally, I think if they do all play, then the Chargers have long been the ideal matchup for Patrick Mahomes. Like if the Ravens are the good matchup for the Chiefs because they blitz, they're easy to beat. That's what Mahomes wants. The Chargers are the opposite. They can rush 4 with Bosa, and then they'll play their cover 2 zone behind it, cover 3s, whatever, and just play zone, keep everything in front of them, make Mahomes do it 10 times and try and avoid Bosa 10 times. And it slowed them down historically. So yeah, I just don't think these two teams are that different, really. I would have made this about 4-point spread based on my power ratings. So a plus 6.5, I think, is a good bet.
Pass rush win rate. These teams are on the polar opposite here. The Chargers are second in the NFL with pass rush win rate. The Chiefs are dead last. Run stop win rate. Chiefs dead last again in the league. So they are last in pass rush win rate. They're last in run stop win rate. The other thing that's interesting to me about this as well, Stephen, Brad, you just brought it up, is the fact that the Ravens got out of what they typically do last week. They are one of the most blitz heavy defenses under Wink Martindale that we've seen since he's been the defensive coordinator for this. They got destroyed and torched by Patrick Mahomes because they did that. And they only ended up blitzing like 4 times in that game last week. They just played and, like you said, let him try to go underneath, dink and dunk and stuff down the field. That's why Tyreek Hill got removed from the game. Tyreek Hill had no impact whatsoever on the game, because if you're not playing Tyreek Hill man-to-man where he can just toast you down the field, then what he does is a little bit nullified, is a little bit muted. And so I think the blueprint, now, do I think Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and them can figure it out and figure out how to get something? I do. But I think at least in the short term, the blueprint has been kind of put out there as to how to at least slow it down. You're never going to stop this offense, but at least slow it down. Try to make it to where they can't just march up and down the field in 25 seconds and things like that. And so I'll be very interested to make sure and see, because this might be something I get in game here. If I see that the Chargers are doing that and the Chargers are kind of nullifying what the Chiefs want to do, this seems like a pretty good in game for me. And if they're not, then it seems like an in game on the Chiefs for me. Like, so I can easily make an opinion here based on how they go about playing defense in this one. So that's how I'm going to be playing the Chargers and the Chiefs.